He's been a bit unlucky. He just lacks finishing speed as his numbers dictate, but he should go really well here again. And connections have tried cheek pieces, blinkers, visor. I think it's blinkers off and visor on if you're keeping score at home.
Are you interested by the horse in the colours of Dr. Marwan Kukash, First Call, who, unlike a lot of these, is fairly lightly raced, 7 race maiden overall, lightly raced so far, and returns to 10 furlongs. It's quite a sharp step up in trip, because actually ran behind Foreign Legion, who we saw in our previous race last time. Foreign Legion, who ran over 6 furlongs, was running over 7 furlongs on the day when winning. This horse running over 7 furlongs that day now steps up to 10 furlongs. It is still early days as well in handicaps.
Yeah, he's only run 7 times. I just do not know what to make of this horse at all. I don't think connections are quite sure either. Is there some ability in there? There could well be. They've experimented with his trip. He's been all over the place, up to 12 furlongs, down to 7. We're at 10 again. He just seems to be one of those racehorses that's really, really frustrating. And if he wins, and Kieran O'Neill is a good booking, if he wins, I'd be happy if I was having a bet on another horse in the race to be beaten by him. I'll be able to take that resolutely and accept that he's just one of those horses that you can't really, it's very hard to sort of assess.
Now there is Splash of Verve, and you mentioned the horse already, but to talk about Splash of Verve a little bit more, son of Fast Company, 3 from 31, and this is the only time actually in the horse's career that he will have sported headgear. First time cheek pieces, as you can see on there. Dropping back to 10 furlongs, did win a Class 7 over a mile and a half at Newcastle a few starts ago, that being a first win since the summer of 2015, but does have a few ones in the CV.
Yeah, he runs and wins in his turn, basically. He's just challenged. There's no more to it than that at all. I wouldn't want to question anything about him. I can see why they're trying headgear. Why not? With a horse like this. He's now got to the age of 7, though, and his 3 wins have been fairly modest affairs. Yeah, so dropping back to 10, I think will suit him. It is his first venture. I think I'm right in saying his first venture. Yes, it is. It's his first venture to Chelmsford. Whereas, this is the reason I went for the other horse. That horse there in shot,
yeah,
in the hands of Poppy Bridgewater.
Get a good ride that day as well.
Winner, yeah. So the Splash of Verve is an unknown on the track, whereas this horse likes it. And I'm a fan of Poppy Bridgewater as well, as I've said before. She had an unfortunate sequence to start her career where she had quite a lot of seconds and thirds, but they were actually horses that had no chance whatsoever.
I'm intrigued to know, James, when you are going through a race such as this, and you look at something like a Prerogative, who has the winning form here, but ultimately a career profile of 1 from 30, 1 from 31, I think. Arlecchino's Arc, who is 0 from 17. Then you get a horse like a First Call, who probably hasn't shown as much as them, but hasn't had as many opportunities. Where do you sort of initially, instinctively go to at that point?
Well, I think that even ordinary races like this are about upside at some level. Now, either a horse has got upside because it's fallen right down the weight, changed trainer, or just simply found a new lease of life for some reason. Like, all horses have got their mark, obviously, just like stock prices, and when a horse gets down to a level, sometimes they get down to the bottom of the U-bend, and that's the time to catch them. And I think probably that's my take on Prerogative.
Yeah,
I think he's a horse that maybe started life through nobody's fault quite high in the 80s, probably was banging his head against difficult opportunities there for a while. He sunk through the weights, lost his enthusiasm, and now he's probably on the way to getting it back again. So I've spoken about Tony Cowell before, and I think this is a horse he might well do really good business with in the next year or so in modest company.
Others of note to talk about, Red Cossack's been down there a fair few minutes already. 1 from 34 overall. Overall profile, that is. Only win was over 7 furlongs at Kempton back in the autumn of 2015. Now goes for first-time cheap pieces and was made favourite for a 1-mile classified stakes here last time.
Well, you've got the start of a novel there, haven't you? It's a lengthy story. I mean, it sums up his career very well, doesn't it? He's not a very good horse, and he's found it hard to win. But he too is a horse, Red Cossack, who has now got down to a mark that's probably about right for him. He was running in the 70s for most of his career. Indeed, He won off 62 when he was probably a better horse 4 years ago. He's now 8. Something's got to win this race, and there aren't many horses with the record that suggests that they can take chances when there isn't a chance. A lot of horses have spurned good chances in this race rather than taken them. So I'd be an absolute idiot to rule any horse like Red Cossack out that had better form back in the day.
Just quickly, you said in terms of horses to win this race, one horse has been there, seen it, done it. That was Outlaw Torn, 25-1. This year was 7-2 when winning this particular race. Last year under Connor Beasley. Start number 190 of the career, marked down to 43. Encouragement from last time.
Yeah.
Can he do it again?
Could do. He must be walking around the paddock going, look, this is how you do it. I won 10 times. You've got no idea. You basically lose a lot more times than you win. I take my chances. He's now 10 though. That's the problem, isn't it? Yes, you're right, he ran well last time out. He's won twice here over course and distance. Again, can't toss anything out in this race, really can't. Have to go for prerogative because of what I said early on, but I'm not about to tell anybody they've made a bad bet here.
Outlaw Tour, last year's winner, going forward, and here's Mike.
Just a couple more to go in. Arlecchino's Arc, in fact, is the last one, I think, on the inside. Pretty consistent, Arlecchino's Arc. Surely he's going to win a race one day. Maybe tonight, perhaps. Set now. And they're off for this Class 6 Totesport.com handicap, the first division thereof. A mile and a quarter. Prince Consort on the inside. Arlecchino's Arc being pushed up to tackle him. And wider is Lulu Star, who's trapped there by First Call, with Outlaw Torn tucking in behind them in 5th place. Followed by Prerogative, who's off the well. Prerogative is a bit is last, in fact. Now paced. Poppy's pushing away on the favourite. Red Cossack, the horse that's in front of her. On the inside of Red Cossack there is Splash of Verve. So as they settle down, Arlecchino's Arc takes them across towards the far side. Lulu Star, Prince Consort, First Call. And then the Grand Veteran Outlaw Torn is next from Red Cossack. One or two of them pulling a bit hard. The pace must be fairly steady. Prerogative disputing last place at the back of the field, about 6 lengths off the pace, with Splash of Verve in the black jacket and the green stripe on the inside rail. They're making their way down the far side then and approaching the halfway point of the race, with Arlecchino's Arc out in front. Lulu Star, the filly, is just shadowing him on the outside then, tracking them Prince Consort in the pale blue. First Call in the grey is next. On the inside is Outlaw Torn. Red Cossack is wider, still weighted with Splash of Verve and Prerogative at the back of the field again. Poppy just pushing along on Prerogative, who's just running a little bit lazily. Moving down inside the final 3 furlongs they go now as they move down the side of the course. Arlecchino's Arc and David Probert under strong pressure. Lulu Star. Prince Consort on the rail is 3rd. First Call trying to get into it with Red Cossack. Outlaw Torn is busy away. So too behind them Splash of Verve. I'm afraid Prerogative surely can't win from there. They come down the home straight then. And there's a few chances on the outside. First Call is joining in with Arlecchino's Arc, who continues to press on under strong pressure from David Probert. First Call on the outside is about half a length down in 2nd place. Arlecchino's Arc with the winning post in his sights. First Call not going away. Arlecchino's Arc is going to win a race at last and holds on from First Call in 2nd. Back in 3rd, Outlaw Torn, tied for 4th with Red Cossack and Splash of Verve.
Arlecchino's Arc at the 18th attempt, a horse with plenty of placed efforts, capable of this sort of mark, off a mark of 53, has been challenged by First Call, but fought him off in the closing stages. First Call, the lightly raced horse, stepping back up in trip to the 10 furlongs, last seen over 7, has come through for 2nd, with last year's winner of this race, the Grand Veteran Outlaw Torn, in 3rd. And from this point, James, Arlecchino's Arc had enough opportunity to not go on and win the race, but did show the resolution today.
This horse is now unbeaten for David Probert. 1 ride, 1 win. And he's not an easy ride, as you can see. He was hanging the latch for most of the straight. He required some fairly severe handling, but what a really strong and effective ride from David Probert. He wouldn't have won without his rider. Full marks to the rider here. Absolutely heck of a performance in a moderate race.
You flag up the winner who came from stall 2, just being raced along to get a prominent position. The horse we've got to flag up from the very beginning, though, the well-fancied Prerogative, coming back to the scene of the triumph. but there was something not quite right from a long way out, right from the beginning.
Yeah, I said to you in running, there's something wrong with him. He is lazy, but he's not this bad, and he only stayed in the race on sufferance. I don't know whether he tweaked something leaving the stalls or something. He looked happy enough before the start, didn't he? He was going down to post all right, but I thought he was beaten at the 5-day stage.